There are nights when your mind simply will not let you rest. You lie in the dark and the thoughts come: an unpaid bill, a conversation that went wrong, a medical result you're waiting on, a child you're worried about. One worry threads into another until you feel like a person drowning in slow motion, completely unable to stop the current. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are not failing. Anxiety is one of the oldest and most human experiences there is. People across every century, every culture, have felt exactly this: the gnawing dread that something, somewhere, is about to go terribly wrong. The question has never been whether we will face it. The question is where we will bring it. The Apostle Paul wrote from a prison cell when he gave us these words: "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." Philippians 4:6-7. That word careful in the King James is better understood as anxious or worried. Be anxious for nothing. Not some things. Not the small things. Nothing. And the remedy Paul gives is not a technique or a breathing exercise, it is prayer. Not prayer as a last resort when everything else has failed, but prayer as the first and immediate movement of the soul toward the one who holds all things together. It is worth pausing on where Paul was when he wrote this. He was under Roman guard, awaiting trial. His life was genuinely uncertain. These were not words written from comfort, they were forged in a crucible. The early church that received this letter was also under pressure, living as a minority community in a Roman city, navigating real social and economic risk. Paul was not dismissing their anxieties as trivial. He was pointing them, and us, toward a peace that does not depend on circumstances resolving in our favor. A peace that passeth all understanding, meaning it cannot be explained by logic alone, because it comes from somewhere logic does not reach. Peter adds a deeply tender note in his first letter: "Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you." That word careth is not passive. It means he is actively concerned, that your burdens genuinely matter to him. And Jesus himself, in the Sermon on the Mount, said, "Take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on." He was not commanding emotional stoicism. He was inviting his disciples to release their grip on outcomes that belong to God, to live in the present moment rather than rehearsing disasters that have not happened yet. This is the spiritual discipline of trust, of repeatedly, deliberately returning your gaze to the Father who feeds the sparrows and numbers the hairs on your head. Here is a practical invitation: the next time a wave of anxiety rises, try treating it as a prompt rather than a problem. Let the worry itself become the signal that sends you to prayer. Not a long, elaborate prayer, sometimes just a breath, a whispered "Lord, I give this to you." Write your fears down in a journal and then literally hand the page over to God in prayer. This sounds simple, almost too simple, but the practice of externalizing what is tormenting us internally has a profound spiritual weight. It is the difference between carrying a stone and setting it down. You were not made to carry every weight alone. The invitation of the gospel is to come to the one who says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." If anxiety is your companion tonight, hear this gently: God is not alarmed by what alarms you. He is not pacing. He is not scrambling. He knew this day before you were born, and he has not been caught off guard by anything that is currently catching you off guard. You can bring the full weight of your fear to him, the embarrassing fears, the irrational ones, the ones that have been with you for years, the ones you have not told anyone else. He receives them all without flinching. Let this be your prayer tonight: Lord, I do not know how this turns out, but I know you do. I release my grip on what I cannot control anyway. Keep my heart and mind through Christ Jesus, just as you promised. And let that peace, the peace that makes no earthly sense and needs no earthly explanation, settle over you as you rest in His care.